During the audit examination of revenue books of the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, the following observations were made. A, the sums of 424,808,500 naira and 403,647,000 naira were generated as revenue in 2014 and 2015, respectively. However, the accounting records maintained by the Finance and Account Department of the Ministry reported 435,495,598 naira 60 kobo and 396,734,411 naira 72 kobo as the revenue generated in 2014 and 2015, respectively, resulting to an overstated revenue of 10,687,098 naira 60 kobo in 2014 and an understated revenue of 6,912,588 naira 28 kobo in 2015, resulting in net overstatement of generated revenue of 3,774,510 naira 34 kobo for the 2 years. The Permanent Secretary has been requested to explain the reason for the differences.
For this particular one, I'm happy to say that in the 2 years under review, the ministry indeed generated slightly more than what the Auditor-General's record reads. We in fact generated 572,090,940 naira 58 kobo in 2014 and 334,368,340 kobo in the year 2015. So, in the year 2014, we even had a higher record of what the auditor has, and in the year 2015, slightly lower. And I'm happy to say that all these have been duly deposited in the Consolidated Revenue Funds account, and we have evidence. If you check Appendix 1, A289 of the document we gave, you will see the evidence that this money have all been remitted to the CRF. This is my submission.
From the records, that is, on the side of the ministry, the figure of the revenue is higher than what the auditor has, which means it's possible that some records were not given to him because he couldn't have gone through the records and report differently from what the ministry has. And normally there's an exit meeting. So if at the exit meeting, the auditor was able to disclose what he found and the ministry did not raise observation, then there's a problem.
If I had seen this earlier and worked on it, I was concentrating on the period of 2019, which is my own liability that I've inherited. But on this one, I assure you, even beyond the PAC meeting here, we're going to go back and see where we are going to put more records straight.
A total sum of $47,404.69 were amounts of variance occurring in revenue generated with the deposit made into the bank in UK in 2015. The PAMSEC has been requested to ensure prompt to ensure $47,404.69 is reconciled and forward the evidence of reconciliation to my office for audit verification.
Of Industry, Trade and Investment has no revenue account in the UK or in any other country. The said ECCC account in UK is not a revenue account. It is a self-levy account funded with contributions agreed upon by various agri-commodities associations to support the development of agri-commodities value chain in Nigeria. It is not a government account. It is an association's account. The account was opened and being operated by the central bank in Nigeria, and the ministry has no knowledge, had no knowledge of it prior to 2018. Who are these commodities associations? We call them FACA, Federation of Agricultural Commodities Association of Nigeria.
Federation
of Agricultural Commodities Association of Nigeria, FACAN, F-A-C-A-N. This is a group of all associations, and we have right now 44 under our purview, but since the last 6 months, I've been working hard to raise it to 160. And right now, more associations.
But yes, there's a lacuna here.
Yes.
The lacuna is that if this is a private association account,
yes,
how and is to
they withdraw their money. They do their annual work plan, we approve it, and they withdraw their money. It's not government account. Yes, there's a committee of trustees of each of the associations, and all of them are represented in FACA.
So, sir, if they do so, then what's the...
You hear that we are launching Strategy 160. There will be 160 of them. Cashew, rubber, cocoa, granite.
Ilaje?
Which one is Ilaje, sir? Yes, it's not a revenue account. It's self-levy. Yes, and it's a
PS.
Yes, sir.
Auditor-General, are you comfortable?
Very comfortable. Audit is examination of financial records, transactions, and statements of the auditee presented at the time of audit. Good. Irrespective of okay, go ahead. Irrespective of the facts that were not shown to the auditor, the figures and the documents presented to the auditors were examined.
Okay.
And what we have here is our observation, for which further clearance were needed. So therefore, the Auditor-General is not a busybody to have poked nose into the affairs that does not concern it.
No, I am not alleging you a busybody, sir. I'm just saying I hope, because if you are looking at a private sector, NGO business, then, you know, one might be going beyond his boundary. Sorry for my language.
That is why I said audit is an independent examination of books, records, and statements presented to auditor.
Association of Neem Tree, Association of Honey, Association of Ginger. They have their president, they have their system. But when it comes to the central coordination mechanism, they all contribute to what we call FACAN, Federation of Associations of Commodities. So,
like
and,
labor.
So they are under one
they are under
umbrella.
one big umbrella.
I see.
And we now have them to do elections based on their constitution. The role we are playing is the confidence builder role, that the association cannot be swindled by one entity or taken over. Our oversight makes sure that all of them have allegiance to it. They are very strong. They have their secretariat in one of our blocks. The president is there, the secretary is there, and they have their entire structure. But we put an oversight on them. And that is the confidence builder, that nobody will swindle. And when we nurture new associations, we also annex them into the umbrella body. Like I told you, we have 44 that are functional and very strong. But I have raised the target recently that we're going to make them 160. And we have carefully selected. When you come to my office, you will see the list of products. And we're even trying to raise the bar for them also on what to promote and what strategies they should align with government strategy. Because we are also conceiving a 10-year strategic plan for the sector. So they're all now mandated to align themselves to our vision. In the next 10 years, what do they want rubber industry to be like in a positive, proactive way? So the alignment with the ministry does not only give them policy direction, we give them the confidence they need, that they're monitored, and we also help them to promote their products, and we protect them. For example, we make sure that everything they're exporting is standardized by Nigerian standards.
Ministry, in relation to this particular query, we need the leadership of FACAN, at least 3 or 5 officials, to come and also speak to this committee as regards to this query of $47,000, Mr. Chairman, so that we can be able to reconcile the two positions.
Query. Until you are telling us now, some of us have no idea. In fact, that's why on a daily basis, we learn new things. So we've learned from you today that various commodity grower, producers, marketers, that they have a meeting point, under this federal FACAN. So, and sir, in law and in accounting parlance, if money belonging to this association is kept in a particular account with CBN and it's not in their name, there's no need to say, there's no need to cure the assertion or position of the Auditor-General that the money belongs to the federal government. And that's where the comment made by my leader here becomes very relevant. If money belongs to Wole, Idris, Abubakar and Co., and then it is in central bank account, central bank account does not open account for individuals or private companies. So ordinarily, they are bankers to the government, Abi, and bankers to bankers, to banks. So it's on that note, sir, that I will agree with my deputy that we should interface with the owners of this money. Let us interface with the owner of this money so that the Auditor-General will be sure, will be satisfied that this money actually belongs to FACAN.
Mr. Chairman, item number F.
Yes.
Savings from capital estimate totaling 45,103,437.34 kobo made during the award of some projects was wrongfully expended by the ministry. The permanent secretary has been requested to recover the total amount expended and pay it to Consolidated Revenue Fund.
Find out the actual things that happened. Our records indicate that the total appropriation for that year was not fully released to the ministry in the year under review. The following are the figures. Total appropriation, 876 million naira. The total amount released was 495, 397, 590, 0 kobo total released. The outstanding was 380 million, 602, 410, 0 kobo. Therefore, there could not have been surplus declared from projects. What may have happened is the records they have indicate what was appropriated, but we now had to work with what was released.
Mr. Pamsek, sir, the query before you is that some savings were made from capital estimates, totaling 45 million. And in your response to us, you never mentioned any 45 million. And the attention of the Auditor-General was brought on the fact that out of the releases made to you, it is what they are questioning that 45 million was saved from it. So what we expected was for you to have reacted based on the accusation before you. And then you brought a summary of budgetary provisions for the year. It doesn't answer the question. The question is very specific. It was from savings out of the amount released. They are saying that out of the 495 million that you have accepted that you took, is out of that money that 45 million was not utilized. And they expected that that money should be returned to government. It is not that they are saying that you took money from budgetary provisions that were made overall, but that the monies released to you was where 45 million was missing. So I expected that you are going to talk specifically on the 45 million in question, not the general view of the budget.
You are talking of 304. The 45 million is from that 190, not from the 304.
That's exactly my suspicion.
Yes. So you cannot tell the parliament that because you returned 304, which is a figure higher than 45 million, the Auditor-General is querying the 45 from the 190 expended. So please tell this committee where the 45 million is.
And certainly, MDAs are not in a position to put the Auditor-General before this committee on whether his work is tenable or not. Mr. Chairman, I think the tendency of this committee has always been that when certain situations arise, we try to make both sides get convinced that Auditor-General has the capacity to bend backwards to prove that this is why these decisions and conclusions were arrived at. Otherwise, the Auditor-General's office, after their work, is not put on trial before this committee. And because we wish to deliver justice to all, I think that it should be another case where Auditor-General should, where possible, make some of such documents available.
The Auditor-General, and indeed the Accountant-General, and all stakeholders must look at making some reforms on the financial regulation. So long as some reforms are not made on financial regulation based on the necessities of the issues that we handle today, we will continue to have millions of the same issues reoccurring every year. And I think it is very important that as the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, we need to make some recommendations in a manner that they will bring into effect some changes even in our financial regulations.